Okay, so in theory, we should be pushing to YouTube. So, hey, YouTube. And in theory, we should be going live on Facebook. Hey, Facebook. So, give me just a second here. Just a second. Just a second. Hey. Then we got to refresh this page. Man, do I need to get like a no-clicky interface? Off, you subtitles. Oh my God, somebody's watching. I hope it's Emily. My pants. Just anyways. So, to whoever's watching, hello. I will, I'm going to press record on. Hey, what up? It's Bree. My pants are okay. Kind of not really. I need to go to the bathroom, but I only got a limited amount of time to do this. I went out with her cousin, who I'm not sure. And there goes my pants. Emily's here. So, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Bree. Like, man, does your family suck at time. And I mean by time, it's like, oh, what time should we do this? When should we get together? What month is it? How about we do this? We'll be there at this time. Oh, what about this time? It should only take 10 minutes. Like, you're the worst. The worst. The absolute worst. But I love you and I'm glad you're here. So, ladies, real quickly, I'm also going to be on Twitch streams. Not Twitch. It's different. X. I'm going to be on X. So let me get this started, and then we're going to get started, and then we're going to start. So, I don't need to invite people. Mic is off. Mic is on. Hello to the people of X Twitter. My ex Twitter. So I think we're good, ladies. So I'm going to do an intro, and then I'm going to see if I'm doing this right. And if anybody pipes in on X, I'm going to do my best to talk to you, but I don't know how to. To give you an idea, I am streaming to both YouTube, Facebook, as well as X, which is a lot of platforms and that kind of stuff. So anyways, and I just got done having like some tempura. That was good. Actually, what I got done is setting up like a bank account for me, my wife, my daughters. Maybe we'll talk about that. Actually, let's start at the beginning and then we'll go from there. Hi, my name is Jacob Robertson. I'm a real estate agent in the Pacific Northwest, specifically Western Washington. Represent if you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. I'm a general smarty pants. I'm a dad. Ask me any dad questions, any family questions. I'm very good at that. And whatever. So ladies, where were we today? We went to local credit union to set. Well, first we needed to. Where do I go with all this stuff? We need to go deposit a check. However, depositing checks, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, and transferring like a large sum of money, like a couple $1,000 or whatever, is apparently just a freaking nightmare unless you want to use Bitcoin, and Bitcoin itself sucks. So. We decided to go ahead and just get joint bank accounts, and then we're like, well, maybe we should go ahead and put our daughters on there. So I'm an 800 credit score, over 800 credit score. My wife's an over an 800 credit score. We're putting our daughters, like one of them's how old is she? Like 10 weeks. She's getting her own checking account and savings account. The 3-year-old already has an investment account, but we're getting her a checking and savings account. Reason being is we have 800 credit scores. Like, we clearly know what we're doing, and if you want to have help your kid have excellent credit or whatever, like, my kids are going to be able to buy a house with no money down when they're 18. Their credit will be so good. They're going to graduate high school with 800 credit scores. And those are the kind of people who are, like, if you have good parents and they're going to set you up and you got parent privilege, good for you. Yeah, they're going to be the ones that succeed, because it's going to be just such a pain in the ass to get anything done with, like, compliance and taxes and violent crime. Philadelphia. I bet Ray wants to talk about Philadelphia. Just kidding, Ray. Just kidding. But I do want to make a note about Philadelphia. Maybe I'll put that at the top of the show, because people are like, oh my God, what's going on with Philadelphia? I hear it's all kinds of violence, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. And I also don't think it's that bad. People are like, I even saw, like, we went to go eat, what did we do? We went to go eat bento box. So I'm eating my bento box, and then NBC's on there, and I was like, oh my God, it's the enemy. I don't even watch the news. So NBC's on. It's like, Philadelphia. And I'm like, huh. Why is it just Lululemon and, or Lululemon? The fuck, ladies? What are you doing? Anyways, what's with all the Lulu stuff? And then, the Apple Store got jacked. So it's like a yoga pants place, and okay, that's your right. I don't care. I don't care. With all the excessive violence and the bombing of the Ukraine and the whatever and the cartels and the fentanyl and the whatever. Why do I care about Philadelphia? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about looting and riots anymore. Go ahead and destroy your local communities. Have fun, kids. I'll just continue hanging out in suburbia till I die, or until like this place sucks so bad I go to Dubai. But let me see. Let's see if we got anything going on over here. I think we're pretty good over at Twitter Spaces. I think I got it. Okay, so ladies, any things you want to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump into it. Bree, I prepared shotes today. You'd be so proud of me. Because what I would want to do, what Bree says is Philly just the newest Seattle? That sucks. I don't know if they're comparable. Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure is bigger. I'm pretty sure it's quite bigger. It's also a lot more violent. Like I don't think Seattle has quite the murders. We got some rookie numbers up here in the Pacific Northwest. Got to pump them up. I've already lost my beginning of the show, so I might jump into it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to talk a little bit more. So I'm going to change the format of this. So I'm working on the sound being better, but it's still going to it's going to be pitchy. It's going to be pitchy when I get really loud. I ordered a lavalier. So hopefully that's going to make my voice a lot better and not be so echoey when I get mad. And I'm like, oh, that system. Okay, so hopefully that's better. I'm also going to do my content where it's a bit more structured, clippable. Like we've talked about doing this a million times for the last 3 years, ladies. But I think I might just do an episode once a month, twice. I'd love to do twice a month, but damn, it's been almost a month. So maybe once a month, and then yeah, do you actually, so Bree says, I'll get back to the whatever the hell I was talking about maybe. Bree says, at least we have Philly beat on serial killers, West Coast, Best Coast. We might. It's entirely possible. There's a lot of damn weirdos up here. And frickin' chomos. Jesus Christ, is there a place that's just man, if I could just get every single person who's into CP, I would love them to be in my state. That's the mentality of the people here. It's oh, they're like babies. Oh, I like them, and they're cool. Anyways, whatever. Philadelphia might have as many serial killers. They're just not going to investigate it or care about it because they're black. If we're being honest. Nobody cares about black crime. Which is really sad. It's really friggin' sad, but that's just the way it is. People, literally don't care. The conservatives don't care. The liberals don't care. People care when it's an election year or something. The blacks care. I mean, sure, they care, but that's really about it. And then a handful of people who are educated enough to know, how much certain communities suck and how bad they've had it care. But for the most part, they're just kind of exploiting them on the left and the right. So, yeah, okay. Anyways, so that's that. Let's go with habits real quickly. So, as habits, you care. I know you care. I care. Jesus Christ, I care. Everybody, I lost 75% of my friends because I cared. Okay, I was just hey guys, not encouraging riots and race shit and all this stuff. It's really bad because you're going to cause a bunch of crime. Oh, you care more about property than people. It's no, I actually just think that an explosion of crime equals an explosion of crime. And if you have more crime in general, you're probably going to have more nonviolent crime, but you're definitely going to have more violent crime. And if you have all these kids killing each other, I don't know how it's helping the blacks. And they're racist. Fuck you. And I'm oh, okay, well, there we go. So, habits. I'm currently streaming to YouTube and Facebook as well as X, Twitter. I also put out something on TikTok. I now have a dedicated TikTok device because I'm just so angry at all the stupid shit I'm listening. Bree, the amount of dumb shit these kids are hearing is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Ask Emily about what terrible relationship advice she's getting online all the time. You probably don't get it as much, but man, she's in the middle of, if she was on Instagram, I think her head might explode. Because if you're on TikTok, Snapchat, and freaking Instagram, they can't be good for you. They cannot be good for you, especially women, okay? No, and I'm not slut shaming or anything. It's not about the women thing. It's about like what women get programmed with and like drilled into their head versus what men do. It's basically like I could go to all the like let's just get real for a second. I get onto a platform and it's like fighting tits. It doesn't matter what platform I'm on. I'm like, oh look, they're giving me, oh there's boobs and there's more boobs and oh there's more boobs and there's more boobs. Maybe I'll just look at guys hit each other for a while. Oh neat, they're hitting each other and they're hitting each other and hitting each other. Whereas like women get hit with like, you're not good enough, buy this. You're not good enough, buy this. You're not good enough. Like as long as I can block out Lambos, I'm fine. But man, you ladies, you get hammered. They try to screw you guys as bad as humanly possible to make you like as unhappy as humanly possible. And then the only way to relieve that is to like either by trying to be Kim Kardashian or buying shit. Which trying to be like Kim Kardashian is buying shit because you gotta buy that ass. I mean, donkey kicks go far, but nobody ain't kicking a donkey that hard. So, habits. So, by doing this on all these different platforms, even though I'm not producing as much as I would like to, I'm still embarrassing myself and going through the process of doing this, which every time I do this, ladies, so this helps keep my sanity, because it's like, it's somewhat of an ego check, because I'm doing this crap that's embarrassing. Like, if you knew some of the people who could be listening to me on frickin' X, you'd be like, why are you even talking right now? Like, you sound like an idiot, and these people are pretty fucking legit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But this is so I can get comfortable talking to them. So when I see them, I'm like, hey, like the reason I'm so good with like beautiful women, and I know it shocks you, but like the reason I'm so good with beautiful women is I've talked to more beautiful women than any man alive. I'm just like, hey, how's it going? And then like after a while, it's like, hey, how's it going? You got any specials? Do you got any jalapeno poppers? With some of that ranch. Sweet, thank you, Lady 10. And they're like, wait a second, you looked me in the eyes and you said thank you? I want you! And because that's the way women are. Oh, but first I would have thrown something out there, like to begin with, which would be like, I really like your smoky eye. You clearly spent a lot of time on that. Good job. I would like the jalapeno poppers. And then that really just screws with women. Man, dude, if only right-wing young men would watch my show, like I've been trying for fucking 10 years, they'd be doing so much better. But no, it's all you chicks, which is okay. I'm not going to kick you out of bed. I'm not, because I love you very much. But yeah, so by doing this on all these different things, I'm still practicing that muscle. So I'm still doing the, like, okay, I'm going to stream and have multiple conversations and work with multiple devices. And maybe someday that'll pay off. But let's go ahead and get into it. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and just read this intro, because it's going to sum up a lot of what's been going on in my brain and part of why I do this. It's weird. And I'm even going to put my glasses on for this, ladies. That's how much I respect you. But don't worry, I don't respect you too much to not have fun. It's weird how I know what it... Okay. It's weird how I know what is happening and cannot communicate it. It's too complicated. What I would like you to consider is that nobody is in charge and entities are doing what they can to take power, be it a lettered organization, a corporation, or an individual. Now, we know or suspect that the CIA controls everything out of NBC and the Washington Post. Like, you cannot imagine how much freaking influence this is. Like, NBC is a major network. The Washington Post is one of the two most important papers in the United States, which is the biggest producer of propaganda on earth. Like, the Washington Post is such a big freaking deal. And then we also know that the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos, who also owns Amazon and Twitch, the second largest streaming service on the planet. Oh, and AWS, which did a gigantic deal with the CIA in 2013. The same year it became legal for the CIA to hit the American mainland with propaganda and brainwash Americans. So you know how crazy shit is? Like, you know how crazy things are right now? Well, that's what happens when you let an intelligence agency run your brain. You get an almost nuclear war with Russia that is being cheered on by furries. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. So Bree says mistakes were made, but not by me movement. Yeah, it's kind of that, but these are the same people who are making the same mistakes. I mean, these people are still going after Trump like like they're going after Trump like I don't know what metaphor to use to describe how they're going after Trump, but it's retarded. Like it's so dumb. Like it's the destruction of the union. And they'd rather just burn it down because they're idiots. Like, the fact is the people that run things are just stupid. Like, I regret to inform you that nobody's in charge, and whoever's in charge is stupid. And what they're trying to do is enrich themselves as much as humanly possible before this whole thing falls apart. And this whole thing did not need to fall apart. It didn't. It didn't have to. It didn't fucking have to. But their greed. Like, what is the expression? Like, a capitalist will sell the rope that's used to wrap the noose around his neck. Son of a bitch, is that true? Anyways, back to the show. So we're going to cover some things that have happened since the last time we had a show. Let me see. I'm working on better production quality. So when I get that lavalier, like the little camera or the little microphone right here, I'm like, hey, Emily, what are you wearing? Oh my God, it sounds like he's right here. Yeah, no, when I get that, we're going to sound a lot better, I think. Since I already brought it up, did I already bring it up? I did, but I didn't because I had to change it up a little bit because I jumped into the show like I always do. Brie, I need to do better on my shouts. So the woke shit's on its way out. Hey! Ray is in the house. So I would say Ray's in the house. Ray's in the house. Which reminds me of something. Totally unrelated to everything I'm talking about. So I have this condition which actually might cause me to lose weight. Crazy, I know. But so I have these things in my throat. They're called tonsils. And I'm not sure if you've ever looked at your tonsils. Like for those of you who have tonsils, I'm not sure if you've ever like shown a light on them and looked at them really closely. So I discovered that I had like just food that got packed in there from when I was sick over a month ago, and like coughing and whatever. Let me see. Just get a new condense mic that I'm obsessed with. I am turning my Dahmer basement into a little stew. You just got the new condensed mic that you're obsessed with. Awesome. It's good to have like a little studio. It's really nice. I'm trying to do it on somewhat of a budget. Ray had her tonsils removed when she was 16. Dude, everybody had their tonsils removed but me. It's weird. Maybe I'm the alien. Maybe you're the aliens. Aliens are bullshit. Don't listen to nobody. Anyways, and so be glad that you have them out because so I'm looking at it and it's like, I think I have stuff stuck in my tonsils. And I pushed on it a little bit, and I was like, wait a sec. Oh, it's popping. Ah. And so then it was like using a combination of Q-tips and toothpicks to like pop things out of the back of my throat. Bree has tonsil stones. She still has hers. Yeah, basically. But what I discovered is these things replenish in a day depending on what you're eating. So I made like beans and biscuits the other night because I was like, you know what? I've got this ham hock that's just been sitting here in the freezer forever. Let's go ahead and make some beans. And I was like, well, you know what? I kind of would like some biscuits to go with it. I'll make some, like, what I make? Like these, I just made some cheddar biscuits because I was like, I think I know what those are. Anyways, what happened is like the baby was like, or the toddler was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, just a second. And I wasn't able to drink after I was done eating my biscuit. So I'm eating like my dry little flaky, delicious garlic cheddar butter parsley biscuit. Very good. Anyways, I'm eating my biscuit. But then, like, it's crumbling like a biscuit does. And then, like, it just gets formed into, like, a paste in my throat. Because that's the only way I can still breathe and talk is, like, forming it into some sort of cast on my throat. And son of a bitch, they were back. So, Brie, I had to push him out again. Emily's cousin gets calcium deposits in her tonsils. It's crazy. Yeah, so anyways, like I finally got him cleaned out, and I think I'm just going to stop eating food that gets stuck there. Give me some meat and vegetables. So like I've also been testing it, so I'm just like, hey, I might as well just not eat bread or cookies. or cake, and maybe I'll stop being a fat bitch. Anyways, so Bree wants you, your doctor wants to take him out, but is too scared because you're a walking medical nightmare. Man, you're also walking liability. I wouldn't touch you for shit. Be like, oh my god, I saw Bree and she died on my table. Did she sign the waiver? Let's see. Oh yeah, what do you ladies want to talk about? And then we're talking about whatever and blah, 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 blah. The woke shit's mostly over. I'm going to go to woke stuff, and then I'm also going to check out olazapine, whatever word you said on it, because I've never heard of that, Ray Ray. But there's all kinds of crap that people talk about that I've never heard of, like adrenochrome. What? Do you know what adrenochrome is? It's supposed to be like the secretion from children who are going through trauma that you can only get after they've done trauma. And so then like the pedophiles, the chomos that run everything, what they do is they like go into the kids' brains and suck out this adrenochrome after torturing them for years, and then they inject it so they can live to be 200 or whatever it is. It's weird. You're on to weird shit. So since you already brought some stuff up, blah, 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 the woke stuff is already on its way out. It ain't gone yet, and I wouldn't call it dead, but the cultural tide has turned. Why? Because it served its purpose. Like, they already did huge consolidation of corporate, political, and economic power. We can talk about COVID. Did you know that we can talk about COVID in the 2020 election right now? Like right now I could say, COVID was made in a lab and the 2020 election was stolen. And YouTube, even though they nuked my channel for saying that stuff back in the day and I'll never be able to get that channel back, I could say that today and it's perfectly fine. Why? Because did the information change? No. It's because they already stole the election and stole everything that wasn't nailed down and used COVID as a bullshit excuse to do it. Russell Brand is in my shoats, Bree. I'm so glad that you asked. In fact, he's coming up next, I think. Well, I guess not yet, but whatever. I'm gonna go back to okay, wait. So entities, why? Because they already stole the election, all the money. So what is woke? What's up? So there's the intelligence agencies or those sort of institutions that are pushing out like crazy crap to make like the left wing seem crazy. So one of my theories, and I have no evidence of this whatsoever, is that the CIA made hippies, like they invented hippies, they got the hippie movement going so that they could use them as a way of discrediting the anti-war movement. So if you have like a bunch of people on the left and they're dressed like Oompa Loompas and they like getting they like it when guys stick, phalluses that look like an elephant nose. In fact, like somebody has like an elephant face mask with a trunk on it, and they're putting it in some dude's bussy. Which I learned what a bussy is this week. Anybody else know? Maybe you'd call it a busey. Because I saw this term for a long time, and I'm like, what's that? Okay, and just don't really like, when you don't know what something is, and then you're like, oh, gay guys are just calling their butts pussies now, I guess. And the fucking kids are okay with it, which is why I'm not actually concerned about like all the kids on TikTok anymore, because like, everybody's stupid as shit. Like Gary Busey, no, like butt pussy, but it's a butt. It's an a-hole. But they're calling them bussies. Or Buseys. And yes, like Gary Busey. I'm sorry, Emily, you're right with the your pronunciation of it. Oh yeah, but the kids have always said stupid, like, dude, do you remember when you were a teenager and what the stupid crap people were saying? Oh yeah, no, Marilyn Manson took out his rib so he could go down on himself. No, it's true. I heard it. What are things that didn't happen for $500? Boozy. It's boozy? 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 It's boozy? Well, Ray, I'm sorry you know that. So boosies and the consolidation of power and everything. That's okay. Yeah. So it just makes this left sound retarded. So the left used to be anti-war, now it's pro-war, and it's retarded, and so they're using it as kind of like the legion of retards to just go ahead and like have them like just be the foot soldiers that are going to be the first ones to get gunned down in the revolution. Like, oh, this is weird, I didn't see that coming. I think that's what a lot of the woke stuff is, and also just like people like trying to dodge stuff, but like I don't know, the DEI stuff's going to go away. However, some of these people are entrenched, and they're gonna like just be stuck. Like you have a teenager. I'm sorry, sweetie, but they planted their flag, and they're like, I'm gonna have my communist revolution in my department of General Motors or whatever company they work for. Whatever little fiefdom that they've carved out, and so. I'm gonna get tapped for using retard more than once. Probably, but like, that's retarded. But I don't think I can get my channel flagged for it. And that's really all I really care about at this point. Like, here's the thing, Bree. I'm never, dude, I don't think I can take off on social media unless it's something like TikTok or Substack. So as far as, like, my stream on, YouTube or Facebook, like, nobody's going to see it on Facebook. Some people will see it on YouTube. And then very few people will see it on X. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. That's one of the nice things about being, like, I'm not exactly canceled, but I'm kind of canceled, which is, like, I get to say whatever I want. Like, I'm free. I'm the freest man in all of the Pacific Northwest. Let me go ahead and get some glasses on so we can start knocking through this. The huge consolidation of corporate, political, and economic power. Do I need to elaborate on that, or have been the last, 3 years of my episodes done that? So what we have is the Ukraine and Russia. So like, COVID and the election don't matter no more. Everybody's grifted off of those as much as they possibly can. And we don't need to worry about having like another crisis lined up right now, because currently we still have Ukraine and Russia, and we can still use that as a way of laundering money. Now there's going to be like a climate crisis story. There's going to be like, oh my God, because of the climate devastation, you're going to have to give the government $1 trillion, and we're going to have the most corrupt piece of shit run all of that organization. And for some reason, whatever companies wind up getting fucking free money from the government in order to do this crap is going to do kickbacks to the fucking... Here, I'll just explain it. I even charted this out real quickly. So what we have is a system of a crisis, first a crisis, then they project fear, then there's rushed legislation, then the taxpayers subsidize $1 trillion corporations. So you get those subsidies. So you get the legislation, then the subsidies. Got it? Congress has got to do their thing so the corporations can do their thing. And then these corporations kick back money, taxpayer dollars, to the politicians who wrote the legislation giving all the money to the corporations. And then repeat. And so we're looking for another crisis right now. And then they'll use that as a way of, like, I don't know, laundering a bunch of money. But for right now, it's going to be Ukraine. And unless Donald Trump gets elected, it's not going to stop being Ukraine. I think he's the only person who can shut that war down. So Ray asked about Ukraine. Just about the Ukraine. So what happened in Ukraine? Which is an interesting question because, it's Ukraine. There's all kinds of stuff that's happening and I ain't there. Here's what I would say happened, Bree. The United States has spent 20 years trying to get the Ukrainians to pick a fight with the Russians. After 20 years, the Russians decided to finally step. And you have a country that is bigger than another country beating the hell out of the littler country. And so some bullies who were knife manufacturers decided to go sell that the kid getting bullied, the littler country, to sell him some knives. But don't worry, because the knife manufacturers are going to make their neighbors pay for the knives on credit. And they don't have a choice, or they're going to get knifed. And so then those knives get sent over to the little kid, and then the little kid goes and picks a fight with the bigger bully, and then the bigger bully beats the crap out of them with their bigger, like, their swords and shit. And so the knife manufacturers just keeps like throwing them knives. Well, like the bigger bully just keeps beating the crap out of them. That's what's happening in Ukraine. So like there was the big spring offensive. This was going to be when the Russians or like the Ukrainians beat back the Russians, and they're going to take them with all their fucking $100 billions that they're given and all these weapons from like the United States and Europe. And like we're just like, okay, Ukraine, go get them. We're giving you all the knives we can. Well, it's trench warfare, unfortunately, and so, like, during their big offensive, I think they took 1% of the land they were trying to fucking punch through. Like, the Russians just devastated them. And we're talking, like 70,000 casualties this summer, Ray. And that means, like, people who are killed or taken out of the fight are not going to fight again, okay? These are people who are, like, amputees or, like, their livers got shattered or whatever the crap because they're in a war. We're talking, like, 70% of the troops were made non-combat effective. And what does this mean? It's like that the Russians can just sit there and just keep taking every little, like, inch of the country that they want, and the Ukrainians are just going to keep getting genocided. And if you say anything like that, you're labeled a racist. Which, Ray, we gotta... Emily, I'm just so excited that we're having this conversation right now. I'm going to jump ahead in my notes, because I've gotta. Let me see. I think this is... so remember... Here, I'm going to copy this. Remember, like, when I was like, hey, guys, maybe we should... Yeah, genocided. Remember when maybe we shouldn't, like, be encouraging crime, and maybe we shouldn't be encouraging people to go outside in a pandemic, to go riot, because maybe, like, that's a bad idea, and maybe it'll cause other problems, and maybe that's a bad idea. And then people were like, you're a Nazi, you're a racist. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm also kind of Jewish. Like, I'm not totally Jewish, but I'm kind of Jewish. It depends on, like, which grandmother. Like, any Jewish grandmother would say I'm Jewish, okay? But not every Jewish grandfather would say. That's how Jewish I am. Anyways, and so, like, so I got called a Nazi and a fascist, and, like, remember how everybody got called a Nazi and a Jewish, exactly. And so everybody got called a Nazi and a fascist and a racist if you disagree with whatever the fucking left came up with this minute. So, and then remember, Emily, when we were talking, like, hey, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. You know how they're going into the Ukraine and Ukrainian Nazis? But Ukraine's, like, full of all these Nazis and shit. Like, there's, like... Let me see if I can find the blah, 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 blah. Commentary, Ukraine's neo-Nazi... problem. It depends on when this one was done. Oh yeah, so 2018 commentary on Ukraine's neo-Nazi problem as Ukraine struggles against Russia and its proxy continues. Kyiv, it's still Kiev back then. We didn't change words yet. Kiev, and so it's Kiev now. It's Kyiv now. So you're going to Kyiv. Kyiv must also contend with a growing problem behind the front lines. Far-right vigilantes who are willing to use intimidation and even violence to advance their agendas, and who often do so with the tacit approval of law enforcement agencies. And there's all these guys with tiki torches and their Nazi shit. Interestingly, Brie, did we ever find out where all those guys in Charlottesville came from? With their tiki torches and Nazi shit and look like these guys? You ever fucking wonder about that one? Anyways, January 28th demonstration Kyiv by 600 members of the so-called National Militia, an ultranationalist group used force to establish... Oh, ultranationalism, that sounds terrible. We need to stop it. Oh, and Vladimir Putin and... Oh, the Azov Battalion, are those... Oh, they're Nazis. They're fucking Nazis. That's right, they're Nazis. There's a Nazi problem in Ukraine. Because it's 2018. But then we're like, oh, no, there's not Nazis. And so then they're like, oh, you know what I love? I love Vladimir Zelensky. Is that his name? Not Vladimir Zelensky. The fuck is his name? Byron Zelensky. So everybody on the media was like, I love Byron. He's so great. Look at what a great military leader he is. He's like 5'6" and he's wearing a green shirt. This is what bravery looks like. So him and Sean Penn are standing nose to nose with like... The fucking energy coming from their junk getting ready to tear a hole in space-time, right? Remember this? So this is what Canada did. Let me see if I can get this. Wait, why? There it is. Let me go like there, there, there.
Each received at least a dozen standing ovations.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at this brave soldier. He's a brave soldier from World War II. Let's just clap. Let's clap for him.
Canadian who fought for Ukrainian independence.
He fought for Ukrainian independence against the Russians. Oh wait, what? Excuse me. What side were the Russians on in World War II? Oh, the Allies? You mean they were fighting with the United States and like England and France and shit? Oh, who are we fighting? The Nazis? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh wait, he suffered for the 14th Division of the Waffen SS. Oh! Oh, the fucking Canadian Parliament just gave a standing ovation to a literal living World War II fighting Nazi? Is that what they fucking did? Literally, Emily, they literally gave a standing ovation to a fucking Nazi after calling me a Nazi, after calling everybody who the fucking truckers are honking their horns. They're Nazis. Oh my God, some guy's sharing a green frog. It's a fucking Nazi. Oh, wait a second. We found a literal fucking trench fighting Nazi from the Nazi war, and we're gonna give him a standing ovation in fucking Canada with Vladimir Zelensky just fucking standing there. That's the world that we live in, guys. That's how performative and retarded and fucking stupid all of this is, okay? It's so fucked. It is so unbelievably fucked. Like, I know if Brian was here, he'd be like, and please forever call it the Nazi war. I'm almost proud of that. If Brian was here right now, he'd be like, wait a second, where does the Illuminati fit in? The Illuminati doesn't fit into shit. Okay? It's a bunch of fucking idiots running around doing their fucking idiot shit. That's the kind of world we live in now. Like, up until, like, you know, there was, I would say up until somewhere in the mid-90s, we had, like, not idiots, and then somewhere after the mid-90s, it was just idiots. So I'm going to go back to my shotes for a minute here, because we're done with that. Oh, you guys asked about the bitches. As producer, I need to warn you that your cursing is off the chain today. Thanks. Well, it would have been better if I had done my show in the morning when I wanted to, but Jessica was like, I think we should try getting all of our stuff done this morning, and then you can do your show later, and then it'll be perfectly great, and it's going to be fine, and whatever. And that didn't happen, okay? So I had to rush over here. I'm jacked on coffee. I had nothing but, like, sitting in meetings and shit, and now I'm upset. But thank you for telling me that. You know, someday I'm going to stop swearing so much. Because I hate beeping it out. But thank you for the feedback. Ladies, do I swear too much? Ray, you're the ultimate judge. Do I swear too much? And if you say yes, I'll stop. And it doesn't even need to be that you're offended by it. You could just say that I swear too much. But they're giving a standing ovation to a Nazi, Bree. What the fuck am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to take it? How am I supposed to take that? And Emily likes the swearing. She likes the dirty shit. Fucking love her. Bam. So let's go ahead and talk out some other shit. So you asked about Russell Brand. And so, like, for those of you who don't know, we go here. There's face and there's, nope, not that one. Oops, oh, look at that, would you? So let's go ahead and go over back here and we'll just do, so for those of you who you could never swear more than me. That's good. That's good. Rage on and make trouble. Yeah. So Russell Brand. So for those of you who don't know who that guy is. So here's that guy. So Russell Brand is by crikey, I can't believe what the Pfizer and the military-industrial complex are doing over at the blah, 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 blah. But because of people like you, they're trying to silence us on YouTube. But what we're going to do is we're going to blah, 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 because the military-industrial complex are those bakers, blah. That's who fucking Russell Brand is, and like 5 million people watch him on YouTube, I think. And so anyways, like, he got canceled because, along the story short, some ladies from back in the day were just like, hey, this womanizing drunken actor grabbed my ass and did some shit, and then like 16 to 20 years later they were like, so he's really famous and we don't like his politics right now, and he also put his finger in my butt. So could we ruin his career? And so what's happening is a bunch of people are ruining his career. So an example is so Burger King and HelloFresh are sponsors on Rumble. And Rumble is one of the places where Russell Brand has his show. So his shows on YouTube has been demonetized. And by the way, these are just... and Rachel's here for all the swears are back on the fucking menu. So he's on YouTube, he's on this, and he's on some other platform. I can't remember what the streaming platform is. Or like the podcast platform. It's one of the premium ones where it doesn't matter. So Russell Brand, and he actually does have some cool shows when he's talking to like, I don't know, farmers in India. That shit's cool. But if he's talking to a local guru or whatever, it's annoying as shit. I can't watch Russell Brand. Okay, like I just gotta say something real quick. I cannot listen to Russell Brand. He annoys the piss out of me. Sweet Jesus Christ. Fuck, it's so nice to say that. Jesus, I get the pretension. Ugh. Shake it off. Shake it off. What is it? Now the baker's gonna bake, and the shaker's gonna shake, baby. Shake. Shake it off. That was your song for the day, because the back of my throat's hurting. Although I might do some, maybe, do you want some Beauty and the Beast? Should I break into Beauty and the Beast right now? Little town, it's a quiet village, every day like the one before. Little town full of little people, waking up to say, bonjour, 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 bonjour. There goes the baker with his tray like always, the same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town. Good morning, boo. Ha, right? Monsieur Gaston, oh he's so dreamy. Monsieur Gaston, oh he's so cute. Be still, my heart, I'm hardly breathing, is such a tall, dark, strong, and handsome brute. Good morning, Belle. Just kidding. Anyway, that wasn't the order of the song, so I'm sorry. I fucking love Gaston. As a bad guy, he's a good bad guy. I don't love Gaston that's gay. Anyways, so Russell Brand... Dude, I'm more romantic than Russell Brand. Just fucking end it. Just end me. Used to have friends, now I got enemies. Used to keep them close, now they dead to me. Money tends to show all the tendencies. Enemies, yeah, so sad. They said I would never get this far. Think that we don't know who you are. Man, it's... Disney's a lot more melodic than that Taylor Swift guy. What's his fucking... Post Malone. I'm way off track, Bree. Bring me back in. Russell Brand, you're right. This annoying son of a bitch. So anyways, so here's what happened. Limeo, by crikey, I'm going to go out, get drunk, and pull some ass. And then 20 years later, I'm going to have a show going after the elites. And then a couple days later, he grabbed my ass a long time ago. And then he's like, oh, can I get my day in court? And then the advertisers are like, no, motherfucker, you're done. And the UK government was like, no, we're even going to coordinate with the BBC and fucking end you. Excuse me, this is illegal. Oh, weren't you listening to Jacob's show earlier? Nobody's in fucking charge. So whatever's happening is happening. I mean, what they're doing going after Russell Brand is probably fucking illegal. No, so I'm going to get to it, Ray. I'm going to get to it. I promise. Anyways, so here's how this works, okay? Fucking Burger King and HelloFresh did not make up their mind and say, we're going to pull out from Rumble because of... I don't know, because of some accusations from some 30-year-olds in the UK over shit that happened 20 years ago. That ain't how Burger King works. You know how Burger King works? Here, let me show you this. Let me show you like this. Let me show you like this, and then we go here. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to do Burger King. Burger King Yahoo Finance. Okay, remember our favorite things, restaurant brands, the Burger King, Yahoo Finance. Whatever the name of the company is, it's Burger King. Okay, and then last funding round is private equity? So who the fuck owns Burger? Who owns Burger King? Who owns blah 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 Burger King corporations blah 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 blah. Okay, so Restaurant Brands International. So some Canadian bullshit. We need to really have a talk about what's going on in Canada sometime. Yahoo. Okay, so we have to go here, Restaurant Brands International, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's our little ticker, QSR, and then what do? We have to zoom in a little bit, so we zoom in, there you go, so you can read that a little bit better, and then we go to hodlers, and then we check out institutional hodlers, Capital World Investors, Vanguard, oh, okay. Well, it wasn't our usual chunk of friends, but this is also fairly interesting. So a large fucking fund out in Canada decided to say, hey, Burger King, we own you. Go ahead and take out Russell Brand. Why? Because we're part of the Commonwealth. Canadians like a fucking colony. We're part of the Commonwealth, and we want you to take out that like head flopper over across the pond. And then Burger King's like, yeah, okay, sure. Whatever. So basically it's like the powers that be did not like what Uncle Russell was saying, so they used whatever they could to take him out. Here, keep in mind, like, Ray, are we not listening to Russell Brand? I'm not going to tell you to listen to Russell Brand or not listen to Russell Brand. I will get into the accusations in a second and talk about that. But first I want to talk about, these are the people who aren't interested in Epstein. Okay? So here's this fucking guy who, does he work for the CIA? Does he work for the Mossad? Yes. And then he's running around blackmailing all of these Democrats, both in the Congress, in the fucking wherever, like all over everywhere, just everywhere. Like, oh, it's the bank. Oh, let's go get this Democrat over here and like get him some ass. Oh, you're a politician, great. Let's get you some ass. Oh, you're Bill Gates, great. Let's get you some ass. Oh, you're Elon Musk. Let's get you some ass. And so, oh, you're a nerd. Let's get you some ass. And so the Ass Express was going down to the Poconos and like they're banging a bunch of young chicks, and the media doesn't fucking care. Doesn't fucking care at all whatsoever. But now it's Russell Brand when he was a drunken, womanizing sack of shit, and he's like running around like, oi, do you want to blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, you're famous, I guess I will. And then they fucking regret it 20 years later, and no, they're going to ruin his goddamn life over it. Now, what are some of the accusations? So one of the accusations is that he straight up raped a girl when she was over at his house, and that was around the time that he broke up with Katy Perry. And I gotta be honest, there's some suspicious shit that looks pretty bad. Just based through text messages and some other stuff. I mean, she went to a rape crisis center afterwards. She got therapy for like 6 months, I think. And they exchanged text messages. And then there's also, like, he was banging a 16-year-old, allegedly grooming her too, which, you know, if you're in your 30s and you're hooking up with a 16-year-old, I suspect you're probably grooming her, because if you are to go out with a girl who's a teenager when you're in your 30s, then you're probably totally trying to just shape somebody. Take it from a guy, okay? I'm not a guy who is like, oh, and we're going to get to that one next. Don't worry, Bree. And so, take it from a guy, okay? We're scumbags. You're attracted to him until like 3 minutes ago. He is tall, Ray, so you're going to be looking up at him. That's not something to forget about. But yeah, no, he was sleeping with a 16-year-old when he was like 32 or whatever. And it was also, the girl said she was coaching him how to do stuff. I mean, you could just read the articles on it. Now, here's the other side of the coin. Are we innocent until proven guilty? In Jacob's court, yeah. Yeah, I think we were innocent until proven guilty. To use a Scott Adams-ism, the only people who are guilty until proven innocent are the government and large corporations, and people who are obviously liars. Like, if somebody's clearly a liar, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that guy's guilty. Like Epstein, you could be like, Epstein does not deserve the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't help that he's dead either, so I wouldn't worry about that. But my point is okay, so then there's the other side of the coin, which Bree brought up, which is alcohol is a hell of a drug. How many fucking alcoholics have done terrible shit and don't remember any of it? All of them. All of them. So an alcoholic sex addict could easily do some terrible shit and convince themselves that they didn't do it. It happens every day. No matter how thin you make a pancake, there are always two sides. Dr. Phil. I love Dr. Phil. So I am a Dr. Phil maximalist. If that guy, it turns out like Dr. Phil was running around getting some like teen ass, I'd be disappointed. It's not on my bingo card. But did that answer the Russell Brand stuff? Here, I'll like, Russell Brand accusations. So September 17th, if you're interested in reading the accusations. Now, again, I'm not going to say these are true or not. Like, I don't personally trust The Guardian. I don't, but I don't trust the British press, because here's what's happening is they're taking a piece off the board. Okay. They're taking off somebody who's very anti military industrial complex, anti large financing, anti large pharmaceutical companies, anti big agriculture. Like, Russell Brand is correct about a lot of things, okay? He really is. He's identified the power structure, and he is striking straight at its heart, and they're doing everything they can to fucking destroy him. So take that, okay? But if you want to be like intellectually honest and, look at the accusations so you can talk about them, a timeline of sexual assault allegations, it's right here in The Guardian, and this was done, September 17th, 2020. Or 2023. And they'll be right there. One other thing besides this, to just wrap it up, journos went looking for this. So the journals went around and started calling all these girls. Like, they went digging for a story, which also makes me think that it's somewhat of a setup. Like, I think the guy's being set up, but he might have done something dirty. So, hope that helps. Let's go back, because Bree, I gotta get back to my shows, because I'm losing the plot. Oh, I got it. So at the same friggin' time that this is happening, two paragons of media relevance, Howard Stern and Louis C.K., are now cucking themselves on behalf of the empire, trying to bend over backwards, talking about, like, how woke they are and shit. So, like, literally a disgusting motherfucker like Howard Stern, who's just like, oh, I want to fucking jerk off the kid. Like, I don't remember. He said something. Actually, let's just look at it real quick. We're gonna do a quick Google search, okay? Howard Stern Columbine comments. Where is it? There we go.
How's it going?
All right.
Is this Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I lived like a mile and a half from the school, man. I had a couple friends that were there, and I talked to them yesterday.
What'd they say?
They said that it was just a bunch of chaos, shooting, and...
Boy, a bunch of good-looking girls go to that school. That guy was right. The guy who called in, he was a little too excited, but... There was really good-looking girls running out of there with their hands over their heads.
Yeah, I think the bomb teams are still working.
Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to go kill yourself and kill all the kids, like, why wouldn't you have some sex?
Yeah, I would think so. I would want some sex, but...
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to kill some people, I'd take them out with some sex.
Yeah.
I guess they were getting a rush from what they were doing.
They seem like these guys are really against the good-looking girls because the good-looking girls want to pay attention to them. I think the good-looking girls will be begging them to live, and they go, you don't have to beg, because you're going to be dead in a minute.
Yeah, don't cry.
Don't cry. Yeah.
See that one little blurb? It's like there was...
So that guy is now being a paragon of fucking virtue in the United States of America. Okay, so he's just like, oh, I'm totally woke, and I'm so woke, and I'm so great, and I love the libs, and I love the trans, and I love the blah, 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 because he's trying not to lose his head. Okay? And the same thing with Louis C.K. Louis C.K. went on Joe Rogan, he's like, I think open borders are great, the United States is too great, blah, 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 blah. To put things into perspective, and I wasn't going to talk about immigration, but we brought up these assholes, and one of the assholes talked about immigration and open borders. The Biden administration, and this is for those of you who feel like voting Democrat again in the next presidential election or voted for Biden in the last presidential election, the amount of illegal immigrants that Biden is allowing into the United States throughout his whole term, and I mean like through the 4 years, that's going to be a greater population than 80% of the states in the United States of America. That's how many people are coming here illegally. More people, larger population is illegally coming into the United States during one guy's term than 40 fucking states. That's how many people are pouring across the border right now. Now, let me just ask you real quickly, for those of you paying attention in the back, and let's just go to the medium-sized state. I'm in a medium-sized state, but let's just say Virginia. Let's just go ahead and throw Virginia out there as like one of the states that's around this size of the population or whatever. Okay? Do we have the infrastructure for that many houses, that many roads, that many water treatment plants, that many hospitals, that many schools, that many dentist's office, that many IT professionals, that many fucking stalkers at Walmart, that many Walmarts, that many McDonald's, that many people that work at those McDonald's, blah, 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 blah. Okay, everything you know about structures. Okay, listen to me. Is this going to make housing cheaper or more expensive? How about with all those things that you're trying to buy and inflation, and you have competition over trying to buy stuff, which is driving up the prices? Are things going to be more or less expensive with more people trying to buy them? How about, you know how you can't even get a doctor right now because there's not enough doctors and shit? What if you increase the amount of like pressure on hospitals by one of the fucking 20%, one of the largest states in the country? How's that going to go over? How's any of that shit going to go over, okay? So that was Louis C.K.'s advocating in order to spend like another 30 minutes outside of the gulag before they finally get him. Like, as Bree said, well, fucking that fucking guy, I'm done. Yeah, no, Howard Stern's done. Like, by him saying this stuff and now, like, Ben Shapiro on the right and everybody going after him, yeah, he's done. So is Louis C.K. Like, this is a knife that's going to cut both ways. And this is actually what's so dangerous. Like, one of the many things that's so dangerous about all these bullshit indictments against Trump, which I'm going to say they're all bullshit. And court cases and filings and all this other stuff. And, like, these judges are just unbelievable. Like, what's happening to Trump is unbelievable. The Republicans are going to do this too. Like, don't you realize that the weaponization of the judicial system goes both ways? Like, all these fucking Democrats are going to end up in jail. So many people are going to jail or a gulag. And it's just because they couldn't let the fucking people who like Pepe the Frog have a president. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm going to go back to my shotes, though. I'm going to go back to my shotes. Because I don't want to lose the plot completely, and I do have some things that I think are potentially funny. I'm going to go ahead and just read my thoughts on Russell Brand real quickly, because I did articulate them fairly well. Thoughts on this: I think some of the accusations seem credible and should be looked into. I also think that people are innocent until proven guilty. I also think Russell Brand was probably a womanizing, drunken dirtbag and doesn't feel the slightest bit of remorse over things he doesn't remember doing. Alcoholics, am I right? Okay, so let me see. However, they, the rich and powerful people who run shit, want to take him off the board. Nobody criticizes the military-industrial complex, big pharma, and the political class as much as Brand. It's kind of like Tucker. Even though he sucks, they took him out because he was effective. Effective people on the right are being taken off the board because of the next presidential election. And if this shit doesn't change fast and big, I'm voting for Trump. And that is, I swear to God, if this shit does not change fast and quick, I'm voting for Trump. I mean, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe how dumb all this stuff is. And so, Emily, right, we talked about the Nazis and today's. Oh, I got a lighter. I got something light for y'all. So you know how I tell you to, don't mess with cops? Like, copy. And then we go up here and then we paste and go. So I don't know exactly how to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Whoa. What are you doing here, Clippies? Stop. Quiet. You're messing up my show. So here we go. I'm going to play this thing first and then we'll go there. I would love to sit him out, but then they indicted President Nacho. So just a second. Okay, ready? All right, let's get the volume up. We're listening. Oh shit, I shot him. I want you to hear how she says that. So, like, in today's installment of Don't Mess with the Police, this poor bastard was on his way to work, and I don't even remember what it was, if he had, like, expired... he allegedly wasn't wearing his seatbelt. So, this guy wasn't sitting his seatbelt, and it ended with this woman shooting him and saying, "Oh shit, I thought it was a taser." So don't fuck with the cops, because they're part of the incompetence problem, okay? And I will get to your point in a second, Bree. Because they're part of the incompetence problem. Okay, so you know how everyone you know is stupid? You go to the doctor's office, you're like, man, these people are stupid. And then you go to school and you're like, man, these people are stupid. And then you go to the store and you're like, man, all these people are stupid. And then you watch entertainment and you're like, man, all these people are stupid. Well, I hate to break it to you, the cops are part of the stupid. Okay, the cops are part of the stupid. Like, here's a guy who's just like, man, get off my back. I'm trying to fucking go to work. Could you please not pull me over for a seatbelt? And then it escalated to where him and the cop, like, are fighting. And then this woman runs up and, like, she's just like, I'm going to tase him. And then she just fucking shoots him. Whoops, my bad. Don't mess with the cops. Just don't mess with the cops. It doesn't matter if your skin color, although really don't mess with them if you're black, but... like, Jesus Christ. And I'm not even going to blame the woman for this, which is what the right's doing, which are like, oh, women shouldn't be cops, Dude, man, I'm going to say, let's just say that male cops are less likely to shoot you. I would also say that male cops are more likely to start organized crime rings. So pick your poison. The woman who can't tell the difference between a gun and a taser, or the mafia, except it's the cops. So you're screwed one way or the other. And as Bree tells her son, don't fuck with the cops. Do not fuck with the cops. And I'm going to go to this, Bree, I thought we were seeing the next election out. I wanted to. I would have loved to because of these two old-ass men. But they're literally indicting Trump for absolutely nothing. They're destroying the country for no reason. All these people need to be fired. I don't even care who they're replaced with. They just have to be taken out. Like right now, it's like we have to break the machine as much as humanly possible before they can do more damage. I mean, these people have been like cheering on a possible nuclear war with Russia and like kids cutting their genitals off. I can't fucking go along with this anymore. But I might be ranting because I feel like my throat's hurting. Because, like, that's what happens when you clean out those, like, friggin' things, and then your throat's a little bit all raw and everything. So I'm going to go back to this. The incompetence of these people is unbelievable. Oh, here we go. Now I'm really going to get my thing flagged. Bree says, so that means we elect Trump again? Here's your choice. Trump or Biden. Choose. Or Newsom. Choose. Because Trump wins the primary, no matter what. I would choose Vivek Ramaswamy. If I really had a choice, I'd pick fucking Vivek like that. But I would even choose Haley, okay? I would choose Nikki Haley over this shit. Just something to course correct. Just something to stop the Democrats' fucking march to the sea. And if you get that reference, good for you. And if you really get that reference, man, good for you. So, I'm going to go back to the cop shooting the thing. So, the incompetence of these people is incredible. You know how everybody at work is a fuck-up? Well, that's everyone's work. That means cops and doctors and shit. Watch your ass for the next decade. Don't have an emergency. Retards with the power of life and death are going to be coming to your rescue. But the retards, okay? The retards. So, that's my point. So, it doesn't, like, the person who's coming to help you, like, to help put out the fire in your house, might only know how to start fires and they're too stupid to know the difference. Don't have any problems for 10 years. That's my advice. And so I'm on TikTok now, and it turns out that the reason that shit's legal is because an American billionaire. So there's one American billionaire who's making a ton of money off of TikTok, and so he's buying politicians. He gave a bunch of money to Rand Paul, so no TikTok ban, and I'm done with Rand Paul. I have a separate device for it. I'm there to talk to the kids, and it's because the advice out there is just so god-awful bad. And all of my accounts are algorithmically throttled. So to give you an idea, when I was doing my show in 2020, and then I was like, getting all this stuff going, blah, 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 blah. Like, my reach has decreased by 15 times. Not 15%, 15 times. That means, 15 times. It's like negative growth. For fucking 3 years, I end up with 15 times less audience and reach. I'm clearly saying all the things that I'm not supposed to be saying, and I can't break out of the digital gulag. So that's why I'm on TikTok. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to wrap up with the... Actually, I'm going to wrap up with two things. So one is the country that you really live in, and then two is whatever I think of after that. Okay, so the Whitmer kidnapping hoax is now dead. So let me see. We're just going to go over here real quickly. Boop, 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 so you guys can refresh your memory. Kidnapping. So I don't know what the hell all that is. I don't know what the hell all that is. That's crazy. So let's ask, because now it's getting on January 6th or whatever. So let's ask D'Antoni about the FBI's use of 12 informants and 2 to 3 undercover agents to fabricate the Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. So if you remember the Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot, that was in Michigan in 2020, where... I'm sorry, I just can't believe how stupid everything is. I need to actually, make this smaller because I just saw something so stupid. One of the looters was live streaming themselves, and they're an influencer in fucking Philadelphia. I'm sorry, the people stealing shit. I'm not allowed to say loot anymore. Although I said I would never say loot again. Although I might bring it back. I might. We don't know yet. I'm crazy. So the Whitmer kidnapping hoax was when, a handful of rednecks was convinced by a handful of feds and their friends who were also bribed by the feds for $100,000 to turn on their friends and create fake evidence to go kidnap the governor. And then they did it, and it's oh wait, this is entrapment. Oh wait, the FBI is totally setting this up. Wait a second, this is all weird. It's all weird. That's a great tramp stamp. So there was the Fed kidnapping. Anyways, they were calling it the Fed kidnapping or the Fed napping. And lo and behold, the jury agreed. The jury was just like, what is the government doing here? Well, I'm going to say it, and I want you to know what kind of country you live in. And I'm going to check my shows. The Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, and the Las Vegas shooting are examples of the lettered agencies, that's the FBI, ATF, CIA, whatever, running ops to set people up and get wins and promotions for stopping said ops, then scramble to cover shit up when their stupidity gets hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people killed just to cover their asses. That is who runs shit. It's idiots who are covering their asses. The most unexceptional and normal people trying to be extraordinary is what causing this. Oh, and they clamp down on your rights for their fuck-ups, allegedly. Okay, so the ATF, and I think it was the ATF was doing a training on what would happen if some guy got his hand on a bunch of fertilizer and tried to blow up a building. And so they came up with a plan on how to do all of that. And then Timothy McVeigh got a hold of the Fed plan, and they were going to do a big op to bust him and then be like, hey, look at this guy that we stopped with the truck bomb, except he blew up a fucking federal building. And then they killed a cop to cover it up. fucking 2 of the CIA hijackers were CIA informants, and the CIA got him in the country. And so it's not like there's some big gigantic conspiracy to get your metachlorians and turn you into shit. It's that these guys are just trying to fucking play cowboys and Indians and LARP and do stupid shit. And then people in the real world get killed. And then they're like, uh-oh, I better save my career. And then if they actually do get caught, they just end up eating the bullet. But really what they do is just trample on our rights. And then everybody makes it classified for fucking 40 years because, like, they stuck Epstein's dick. That's my show for the day. That's all I got. I'm going to go ahead and see what Bay has to... I'm going to say, no, don't worry, I got her. No, I'm about to wrap up and we'll get her. So I got to go get her. Got to go get my kid. Oh, no, you ladies want to talk about anything? You got anything to cover? Because that's all I got. I can do what's trending on Twitter real quick so I can, like, bookmark this with something happy. Yeah, that's kind of a bomb to drop in your lap. I'm sorry, but 9/11's fucking... It's not that it's fake, it's that it's incompetence, which is scarier, I think. Let's see what's happy on X. Oh, I'm just gonna end it on foot washings. Whoops. Let's go back. I'm gonna do this real quickly. I gotta go here, and I'm gonna go home and...
Sorry, I repent. What if we just started loving each other and serving each other and maybe washing each other's feet? What if we had a small group one night and we just all humbled ourselves, got down here real low and looked up to you and said, you know, I value you. I care what happens to you. I care what you experience in America. I care about the hurts and the wounds of your past. I care about the history of my race against your race. And I'm sorry, I repent. I didn't do it myself personally, but I take responsibility for my own race. Because Jesus didn't do anything to hurt people, but he took responsibility for them.
So...
He took responsibility when he went to the...
Ray, I don't think I can fucking take responsibility for the Hispanics. Or the Jews, okay? I didn't do it. It wasn't me. This is fucking... It's dumb. I don't have an ending. I don't have an ending for my show. Like, subscribe, share, go to my channel. Fucking send me money or gifts in the mail. I love you guys so much. I'll be back when I'm able to be back and do a show when I'm able to do a show. I'll have a lavalier and some better stuff. In the meantime, you can find me on, like, TikTok or Twitter or something, or Facebook. You know. I love you guys. I hope you take care. I'm going to go get my kid. I'm going to go get my kid from her last day of school because I'm sick of her fucking school too. Love you guys very much. Thank you for watching. I hope you were entertained. I hope you were so entertained. I hope you were like, God damn, I miss his face.